Good morning. Right. As in the previous, we have discussed regarding the plant growth regulators, right? So how they are regulating the mechanism by promoting or by inhibiting the plant growth mechanisms or metabolic rates. There are the 5 different hormones we discussed with respect of their derivatives, right? So the one that is auxin, which is derived from indole ring components like the tryptophan, which is gets synthesized by the zinc presence, and another one that is gibberellic acid, which is synthesized from acetyl coenzyme A, right? Then third one that is cytokinin, which is a tRNA or DNA derivative mainly by the purine constituents, that is a modified adenine. Okay. Then the fourth one that is ethylene, it is a gaseous form, can be extracted from the methionines also, methionine derivative. Then last one, abscisic acid. Okay, the abscisic acid can be obtained from carotenes, that is xanthophyll pigment, exactly the violoxanthin. This is important. Clear? So this is what the constituents from which we can derive this one. But now you can say isolation ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಯಾವ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಐಸೋಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ the component from which we can obtain these kind of hormones just we have discussed, but now we can say how that has been discovered. As we know, all the phytohormones, they are not intentionally discovered. In some other experiments, while carrying out that one, they came to know about some different results. So accidentally the phytohormones came to know about that one. So that may be the auxin, that may be the gibberellin or other cytokinin or whatever the ethylene and abscisic acid. They are all accidental discoveries. So let us start with auxin. As just I said, the discovery of this auxin is accidental because the Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin, both of them are working on the canary grass. By taking this one canary grass, they are studying the phototropism. Actually, the phototropism mechanism they were studying. While studying the phototropism on the canary grass, they found that there is a special component because they have taken the coleoptile. What do you mean by coleoptile? Yes? Shoot initiation. No, plumule is shoot initiating one. It is getting production by the coleoptile. What is coleoptile then? Its function is protection. Protecting the plumule is the function. But what is coleoptile? It is the undifferentiated leaves which are covering the plumule region. The plumule which is get covered. For example, see if it is a plumule, okay, on that we can see the undifferentiated two leaves or undifferentiated leaves which are covering the plumule region. These undifferentiated leaves which covers the plumule, together this structure is known as coleoptile. The function of the coleoptile is to give the protection for a developing shoot. The developing shoot is by what? Plumule. That's it. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೊನೊಕಾಟ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ coleoptile is nothing but undifferentiated leaves covering the plumule which gives rise to the shoot system. Right. So this coleoptile in presence of the sunlight has shown the curving towards the direction of light. So from this point you can see the curving. There is a bending. So see, by this, while studying the phototropism, they came to know that the coleoptile is showing the positive response to the phototropism, right? So then later they tested that by making the decapitation. That means they cutted this coleoptile tip and they made the observation in presence of light, but now there was no bending. Interestingly, they found that there was no bending. But earlier when coleoptile is present, they found that there is a bending. But interestingly, again, they kept the coleoptile undisturbed, but they covered it by a tin. That is, a metallic tin cover is covered. The metallic tin cover is ensheathed the coleoptile tip, but that setup is also made under the presence of the light source. What they found now? What will be the result now? They are having the coleoptile. There is no changes in the coleoptile condition, but to the coleoptile tip they have added a, that's it. If it is a coleoptile, they are adding what? Metallic cap, that is a tin cap, right? The metallic sheet that is of the tin. Now they also found the same result as the decapitated one. Means this is decapitated, right? The coleoptile is decapitated. Here also the tin sheet. Okay, there is also the same result they found, that is, there will be no bending towards the light. What they found that based on this Darwin's phototropism experiment on the canary grass, that is Phalaris canariasis, its scientific name. Okay, the Phalaris canariasis. Okay, then later Smith isolated that constituents, that is a non-plant source, but the thing is F.W. went, he made the Avena curvature test. What is Avena? That is what? Coleoptile. See, Darwin used what? Canary grass. He used what? What coleoptile, right? The canary coleoptile, here the what coleoptile. So that is the Avena sativa or Avena sativus. ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ವರೈಸಾ ಸಟೈವಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದರದ್ದೇ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವೈನಾ ಸಟೈವಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ F.W. Went has taken the coleoptile of what? Okay, what he made now? As he also know the results and all the principles behind the phototropism experiment of Darwin and his son, hence in presence of the light source, okay, they interestingly found the same result. There was a bending at a particular point. From that point only they are getting bended. Rest of the things innella kuda hage vertically hegittu agide. So there was no bending in the rest of the things. At a particular point they shown the bending. He keenly observed that one. Then later he made the placement of agar block. They are cutted, that is a decapitated. Then this is a agar block. What is agar? It is a hydrocolloid. It is having an affinity towards the molecules, right? So easily it will get imbibed one. Hence imbibition is what? Diffusion. Hence the agar block was placed with the decapitated coleoptile. That one tip the coleoptile tip was placed on the agar block. So this is what coleoptile tip, this is agar block. What they made, why they have made this one means the tip which may be having a particular chemical constants, that's why at some point only it is getting bended. Hence that point was made to cut and made the constituents which are present in the tip to be get diffused inside the agar block. Then next what they made, this agar block was placed at one end. Right, but not on equally they have placed it. So interestingly, what is the result then? They found that there is a bending at opposite side where they placed the agar block. Against that block, they found that the bending. Then they came to know that there is a chemical constituent which is sensitive to light, which makes the bending of that coleoptile. Later that chemical was identified as auxin. I have written that spelling here, auxin, A-U-X-I-N. I have written the term here is A-U-X-E-I-N. What do you mean by auxin? It is a Greek term which refers to grow. That's why it is a growth initiator, we will say. It is a growth promoter hormone, we will say. So from the Greek term, auxin refers to the to grow, the chemical which promotes to grow the particular things. Hence, like that, the root initiator hormone was discovered by Charles Darwin and first isolated by F.W. Went. I made a clear distinction. Who discovered auxin? Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin. Who isolated for the first time? F.W. Went. Okay. Then which is the first hormone source? Then it is not coleoptile. That means that is not what coleoptile. It is the human urine. From human urine also we can isolate and extract the auxin, but it is a animal sourced one. It is not plant based hormone. And the plant source in the tagondirattakanta hormone alla. Hence the first plant source based hormone was isolated and extracted by F.W. Went by taking the Avena sativa, nothing but oat coleoptile. Clear? Who discovered? That is Charles Darwin by taking canary grass, that is Phalaris canariasis. Okay. Then who isolated by plant based source? F.W. Went. Which is a plant source? Oat coleoptile. Don't get confused. Eradu coleoptile. This is oat, this is canary grass. Clear? Then non-plant source, that is the first one, that is human urine. Clear? So human urine is not playing the main metabolic role because it is an excretory product. Hence we can extract anything from that one. There is no issues. Ethical issues kuda enu illa adake. Okay, clear idea? So this is how the discovery of auxin was made. Then how the bioassay, that is what this one, the F.W. Went made the bioassay. So bioassay for auxin is Avena curvature test. What is this one? Curving. Look at the board. So this is Avena coleoptile. It is getting bending. Bending means it is getting curved one. That's why this test is called Avena curvature test. Then what do you mean by bioassay then? Bioassay. Why we will make bioassay for every hormones? Bio refers to living. Assay means the testing on by which hormone or by which chemical and in which concentration it will bring the result. Because the dilute concentration will bring one of the result, the highly concentrated constituents will bring the different results. That's why bioassay means in a living organism, if which chemical is bringing the result and at which concentration, that will be studied by only the bioassay. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ ಥರದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಬಯೋಅಸ್ಸೇ ಅಂದರೆ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಬಯೋಅಸ್ಸೇ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ದ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್. So which chemical is bringing result, at which concentration is bringing the result, that is what we will see here. That is what the bioassay. Clear here? ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಗರ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ರೀಸನ್ಗೆ, ಅಗರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾರಾಗೈತೆ. ಅಗರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅಗರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಆಗ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಯಿತು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತೀಯಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಬಯೋಅಸ್ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವೆನಾ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ, ಓಟ್ ಕೋಲಿಯಾಪ್ಟೈಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೂ ಅದೇ, ಅವೆನಾ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೂ ಅದೇ, ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ದೇ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಸೇಮ್. ದೆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಯೋಅಸ್ಸೇ. ವೇರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ಡ್, ದ ಸೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್. The site of synthesis is usually in the root tips. Usually in the root tips or growing tips, especially ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು root tip ಅಂತಾನೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, it is the site of synthesis. That is usually synthesized more in the root tips. Clear? Then it is also found in the leaf and fruits also when they are young in condition. That is found in young leaf and young fruits. That is what the early growing tips anta artha alige. Okay, mature ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರೆ grow ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ that is what here the leaf will be in a young condition or the fruit will be in a young condition. We can see the synthesis of this axin, but mainly that is synthesis in the root tips. Clear? Okay. Then discovery, bioassay, synthesis. Which one is a precursor? As we know, the precursor molecule here is the organic compounds which are containing the indole rings. They are the derivatives of indole ring. That indole ring constituent is here the tryptophan that will be producing in presence of zinc. Okay. Here they are naturally synthesized. They are naturally synthesized in the form of indole 3 acetic acid and also indole 3 butyric acid. These are the two forms of natural auxins which are synthesized in the plant body itself. Plant body alle produce agodrinda ನಾವು ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ natural ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Then what about the synthetic one? That is synthetic one is naphthalene acetic acid, that is NAA, NBA. Okay, then 2,4D, that is 2,4 dichloro, this is very important, dichlorophenoxy acetic acid, the commonly used weedicide or herbicide. Okay, then 2,4,5T extra. Okay, so 2,4,5 trichlorophenolic acetic acid. Okay, these are all the different forms of synthetic auxins. They are chemically synthesized, artificially synthesized. These are naturally the plant based sources are taken. Clear? Precursors, nothing but it is a initiator molecule from which the auxin forms are obtained. Yava chemical basis in the auxin obtain ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, that is a requirement, the raw material. Okay, but from that one actually exactly the indole ring components are making the synthesis of auxin. That is what we call precursor. Precursor is the molecule which initiates the synthesis of the original form of the hormones. Clear? Okay. So idistu idra history and different forms aithalva. So coming to its role. What is the role of auxin? The auxin plays the role in mainly abscission. It shows the both kind, one in promotion of the abscission, another one is prevention of the abscission, where that is depends on the phases of the plant body. Means when there is a old leaves and fruits, the abscission layer is formed by the promotion of this auxin role. When the leaf or a flower or a fruit is completely developed, that avoids the mobilization of nutrients. That means that will form the abscission. That abscission forming is abscisic acid, but it is what making that to be promoted. ಓದ್ತಿರೋದು ನೀವೇ, ಓದೋ ಥರ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ನಾವು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಟಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ಅಬ್ಸಿಷನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಈಸ್ by the auxin role in world, that is fruits and leaves, but it prevents abscission. See, the same hormone is preventing the abscission. That means the higher concentration of auxin prevents abscission formation, the lower concentration of auxin promotes senescence. Think ಮಾಡಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್. ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್, ದ ನೇಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್ ರೆಫರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್ is present, it will continues to grow. But if the concentration is decreased, it will stop the growth by promoting the senescence. Hence, here it is by its higher concentration, it is preventing early fall of young leaves and fruits. Hope you got the point. How anta? It is preventing what? Early fall of this one, not this. There is a different term. I have mentioned young leaves and fruits. Why? When there is a more concentration of auxin, it will promote the growth. Hence, the early falling is prevented. Nothing but it is acting as a anti-abscission for young structures like leaves and fruits. Clear? Clear? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? So abscission is two kinds. One is by promoting, another one is by preventing. It is promoting where? In the world conditions of the leaves and fruit by decreasing its concentration. It is preventing where? In the young conditions. That means early falling of young leaves and fruits is prevented. That is its application. Clear? Then second thing, that is the main role of this one is apical dominance. How? Apical, as I said, it is present in the apex, that is the tips, right? It shows the apical dominance. As we know, in the normal plantation of the timber yielding plants, we will make the lateral branches be cut down easily. Repeatedly we will make what? We will not allow the lateral branches to grow. While in the timber yielding condition, the side branches or whatever the tillers we will say, they will be get cutted down. Because why? Only to maintain its vertical growth to be enhanced. That means if there is a auxin in the lateral, because it is also having the tip, no? There also we can find the auxin. That means auxin concentration is distributed to the side branches and also the main branch. Hence, it will enhance the growth in the sides and also in the that one. There is a vertical growth. Hence, to maintain the vertical growth, the side branches will be cut down in the normal timber yielding condition. But this was mainly applied or useful in the tea plantations. We know how it is dominant in the tip. That is what the bioassay we have shown. Only it is present in the tip. That is what the dominance. It is present more in the tips only. That is what we call apical dominance. Rather than the other parts, it is more present in the tips. Hence, by using that concept or the principle, we are using that in a tea plantation by making the decapitation of the main tip. Main tip anna remove ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. Why? We know tea plantation means the tea harvesting is mainly based on its leaves. If the plant length is more, the harvesting process is difficult, first thing. And if you get more branches, the accumulation of more number of leaves will be increased in the same plant body, right? That's why to enhance the leaf growth in the side branches, to make the more number of branches, it will get accumulation of more number of leaf. Second thing, it is easy to get harvested. If the length of the shoot is more, it is difficult to be harvesting. Hence, to make that one, the tea plantations are having decapitation of the main tip of the shoot. Shoot tip in a main tip ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Hence, we will be getting more branches and maintains the strength. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ It is used in gardening. That is what? The bushy appearance. It is also called as edge making process. Have you seen the gardening? So usually they will cut the apical tips, right? The main tip which is will cutted, easily it will develop what? The lateral branches. The lateral branches will get develop the more leaves. Easily it will give a bushy appearance. That is what? Edge making condition. That's why in gardening it is applied. In horticulture, edge making. That is in the tea plantation, that is the horticulture, it is used in tea plantations and edge making processes. Clear? And mainly in the horticulture departments, it is useful in the promotion of pineapple flowering. I am saying promotion, not initiation, because initiation of the pineapple flowering and synchronized fruiting will be by ethylene. Initiation. Sorry? In the pineapple, okay, so the hormone which makes the synchronized flowering and the synchronized fruiting, that is initiated by usually yellow flowers, that means all the flowers, that is photosensitive pigment that is in the shoot, that is florizin, that will bring the shoot system to get modified as the root apex. But the thing is, in the pineapple, the promotion of flowering is mainly by this one, and it also induces parthenocarpy in the fruits like tomato plants. So mention ಮಾಡಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ example tomato ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. It induces parthenocarpy in tomato. Make the difference. Clear? So, and mainly it is involved in xylem differentiation, because the auxin concentration will make the cambium ring to form completely. The interfascicular cambium and intrafascicular cambium togetherly they will form what? A complete cambium ring, and will become more active in the spring season due to the more deposition of what? Auxin. That's why the xylem will be get differentiated. Again, the cambium will cut off that xylem into secondary xylem. That will become as a wood by differentiation. That is what? Xylem differentiation is made by the effective use of the auxin. And also it is involved in the cell division. It promotes the cell division process, because in a growing tip it is present and the active meristematically dividing regions anta karitivi, where we can see this one. That's why it is bringing the apical dominance, it promotes the pineapple flowering, and it brings the parthenocarpy in the tomato. It is helpful in the xylem differentiation, it is involved in the cell division, and it promotes the abscission formation in the old leaves and fruits, and prevents the early falling by preventing the senescence in the young leaves and fruits. And mainly it is called the rooting hormone. It brings the rooting in stem cuttings. That is also its main application. Then we can say it has adventitious root formation. Can we use the term adventitious root formation is brought by auxin or not? What do you mean by adventitious root? The root which develops other than the radical. So here I am saying what? Stem cutting, right? The stem cutting means what? It will be not having the radical part. Other than the root means other than the radical, if any branches or a part of the shoot will be developing the root means, then it is adventitious root. Hence we can say the rooting process in the stem cuttings, nothing but it is forming adventitious roots. It is not apart from NCERT. I am saying NCERT only, but apply ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. Clear? So adventitious root formation, that is what the Miller and Skoog who used kinin along with this auxin to initiate the root in the pith of that one. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಪಿತ್ತನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಯಾಕೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇದೇ ಅಡ್ವೆಂಟಿಷಸ್ ರೂಟನ್ನು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಆರ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲಸ್, ಆರ್ ಟು ಬಿ get the stem, they have taken less concentration of oxygen. That's why oxygen plays the complementary role or also the synergetic role with the cytokinin. Cytokinin ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿ ರೋಲನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿನರ್ಜೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಆಂಟಗೋನಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನೂ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಿನರ್ಜೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ರೋಲನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಬೈ ದ ಟೂ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್. That is what we will see in the cytokinin. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರೋಲ್? ರೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಕಟಿಂಗ್, ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಥೆನೋಕಾರ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ, ಪ್ರಮೋಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೈನಾಪಲ್, ದೆನ್ xylem differentiation, cell division, apical dominance and preventing the abscission in young and making the prevention of early falling of young fruit and leaves, promoting the abscission in old leaves and fruits. Clear? ಎಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ yes, so this is all about the main things, right? But here there is a one more major role. What we have said that the 2,4D, it is used during the Vietnam War period. Why it has been used in the Vietnam War? We know that in the to remove the weed. No. Here the Vietnam War, yes, as you said, it is to remove the weed. Yes, it is acting as a main weedicide, nothing but it is a herbicide, more active on broad leaf contents. Where we can see the broad leaf? The broad leaves are usually found in the dicot plants, but it is not showing its activity in the mature monocots. Why? It is not showing activity on mature monocots, but it shows its activity on the dicots. And especially I mentioned the term that is in the broad leaves of the dicots. The area of exposing is more, one thing. Second thing, but it is not affecting the mature monocots, because even the monocots, they are all having the narrow leaves or pointed elongated leaves than the dicot. The surface area is usually more in the dicots, the area of exposure is more in the dicots, right? But the thing is, the mature monocots are having the mechanism of getting degradation of auxin. Whatever the auxin which is present on their body, when they are mature, there is no requirement, because we know that most of the grasses or monocots are usually annual. Hence, their plant vegetation, that is means the juvenile phase is easily completed. Once they complete the vegetation phase, there is no requirement of further growth hormone which is initiated. That's why that will be get degraded and they utilizes them to be get develop the energy processes. Clear? Hence, there is a degradation mechanism of auxin in the mature monocotyledon plants. Hence, it is not showing its effect on the monocots of mature one, but it shows its activity on the broadleaves. Hence, all the dicot plants in the Vietnam War field has been completely dried because they are all dead. Clear? Hence, they are the some opposite, means the opponents which are hiding behind that grasses or the plant's bodies as a camouflage one will be avoided and easily they fought with that one. Burnt ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ actually ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು. Okay, the thing is, the property is weedicide property. What is weed? The unintentional growth of a plant. Intentionally you are growing a paddy, but there is another one plant which is came inside the paddy field, then it is unintentional growing. The unintentional plant which was grown in the crop plants, then that plant is weed. That is side. What is that? Killing. That plant is killed by the weedicide. Commonly it is a herbicide we will refer. Herbs anna kill ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ herbicide ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. Clear? So that best herbicide or a weedicide is 2,4 dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, that is 2,4D. ಇದನ್ನು ಆರೆಂಜ್ weedicide ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರೀತೀವಿ, ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ. Clear? This is all about auxin, that is a ರೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಅನದರ್ ಒನ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್? Acidic hormone. All the hormones are acids. One is exceptional to that one. Which one? Gibberellin. You say the another form of gibberellin, that is gibberellic acid. The name itself is having acid. Then like when you can cancel abscisic acid also. Only the thing is left is cytokinin, other one is ethylene. Then among these two, which one is the acidic, which one is basic? ಒಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ನಾನು ಫೈನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅವಾಗ. Yes, which one is basic hormone among of cytokinin and between this cytokinin and ethylene? Means derivative. From which one we have seen the purine derivative? Purine derivative is what? Adenine. Adenine is a base or acid? Okay, adenine base. That's why from the adenine which we have extracted, that is basic hormone. Cytokinin is a basic hormone. Ethylene, that is from the methionine. Methionine is an amino acid, acidic hormone. ಇಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೇರೆನೂ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ವೆಲ್, ಸೊ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು gibberellic acid or gibberellin. There was a condition in the Japan. The farmers were facing a threat to the paddy fields because the plant which are showing an announced increase in their shoot system, but they were becoming sterile. What that condition? The pale plant body with a sterile condition with enhanced shoot length was thought to be a foolish disease on rice seedling or paddy seedlings. That disease is also called as Bakane disease or Bakane disease. The Bakane or Bakane disease is also called as foolish disease of then this disease was identified as a fungal infected one by a Japanese scientist called E. Kurosawa. So he identified the fungi, that is Gibberella fusicori. Okay, its bioassay is also done on the same. How? By taking a healthy plant and spraying this internodal spray, that is internodal extract was taken, because we have seen what the condition. The Bakane disease is showing what? Enhanced increase in their internodal space, that is what? The shoot length is enhanced. Second thing, they are pale and they are become sterile, the yield is very less. That's constituents, especially between the nodes, the extract was being taken and sprayed on the healthy plant. Then healthy plants also got the same result as this plant was seen. It has increased the length, it has become sterile, it is pale in color. Then they came to know that there is a constituent which is making this increase in the shoot system, making the pale, making the sterile. Then that was the Gibberella fusicori, that is making that one. Like that, nowadays we are having more than hundreds of gibberellic acid, like GA1 to GA3 up to more than 100. That was first isolated by Ebuta. So Ebuta isolated them in the form of gibberellic acid, that is what? The GA3. This is the most utilized and extensively studied hormone. The complete characterization of this one is clear, but I am saying what? GA3 is the first isolated hormone of gibberellin. but I have mentioned GA1, GA2. There will be question, right? GA1, we have named the strain is first, GA2 then second, GA3 is third. Then GA3 is means the actual activities what the Gibberella fusarium infected paddy plants are shown. The same activities was shown by the gibberellic acid 3, not by gibberellic acid 1 or gibberellic acid 2. Hence, the first isolated and complete characterized extensively studied form is known as GA3, that was by Ebuta. The scientist name is Ebuta. Clear? Yenutalla. Okay. Clear? So this is about its discovery and this is about its bioassay. Then how we can get that one? The precursor molecule here is acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is its precursor molecule. That means it is can be derived from the diterpenoids, nothing but the terpenes, the secondary metabolite. Clear? So where you have studied acetyl coenzyme A? In the respiratory pathway, that is Krebs cycle. So in the amphibolic pathway, it can be taken back to the formation phases, right? That is what to produce the gibberellic acid. Clear? So there are different forms of gibberellic acid, more than 100. Commonly they are called as gibberellin. That's it. Okay. So their discovery, their bioassay and their precursor and derivatives we have seen. Then what about its role? What is the role of this one? It is breaks dormancy of seeds and buds, right? Seed dormancy anna break madodu matte bud dormancy anna break madodu. It breaks dormancy of seed and dormancy of bud. That is the first thing. How? The gibberellic acid which is present in the seed or in the bud will make the enzyme activation like the alpha amylases or the proteases or lipases. The activity of this enzyme is enhanced, hence they will break the carbohydrate, protein and lipid respectively. Like the alpha amylase acts on the carbohydrate, protease acts on the protein, lipase will act on the lipids. All the constituents which are present in the fatty seeds or whatever the starchy seed, whatever may be the condition, these enzymes will show the function only when the gibberellic acid concentration is more. So that's why the gibberellic acid breaks the dormancy of seed and bud by synthesizing or activating the enzymes called amylases, proteases, lipases. That is how the action of gibberellic acid is in the process of breaking dormancy. Clear? Istu NCERT ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೇರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Then along with that it is making the major roles where, so it is increases the length of axis, where means see if there is a grape bunch where you can see the axis which is bearing the fruit, but if I increase the length of axis, see by applying the gibberellic acid I am making what you are observing, what is the change I made here? Means they got the free space to expand themselves. There was no restriction of the space to get expanded. Easily the cell has increases volume. That means the fruit has increases volume by getting more growth. Hence, the size of the grapes is accumulated more, right? The content inside the grape is more when we increase its axis length, that is making the pedicelar length is increased. Pedicel is what? Axis of flower. Flower get develops into fruit here. That is the gynoecium, right? That's why the pedicel is get increased and makes the accumulation of fruit. That is in the case of grapes. It increases the axis length in grapes. Along with that, it increases size of apple. Apple size is, if it is very small, means will you like that one? No. That means the bringing a good shape to it, it is increasing apple size. So that's why apple size and its shape is maintained by the activity of gibberellic acid. That is the main role in horticulture departments. Clear? Okay. The next, it is bringing the malting process to be get fastening. This is also one of the bioassay. Bioassay. What I am saying here is the malting process. Bioassay for gibberellic acid is, add this one also additionally, malting of barley. The barley seeds are getting malting process involved in the malting process. What is that malting process then? So malting is the process usually found in the brewing industries. So that is what ethanol extractions, right? Here is the seed will be soaked. That is the first step in the malting process. When the seeds are soaked, easily they will get what? Germinated. That is the second process. The third step in the malting is killing, not killing. See, the malting is involved in the 3 steps. Microbes allirodinda illi helta idini aste. It is extra. ನೆನ್ಪಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೆನ್ಪಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So malting is the process. It involves by soaking the seeds in the water. It is seed soaking. When the seeds are soaked, imbibition ಆಗ್ತದೆ, automatically they will get what? The seed will get germinated. But to get a different colors and the flavors, they are involved in the next third step in the and last step in the malting is kilning. K-I-L-N-I-N-G. Kilning. What is that kilning? That is nothing but heating. The seed is soaked and germinated and it is stopped the further growth by eating. Then they have been stored to get different flavors and their colorations. Different flavors and different colors will be obtained by the malting process. For this, what we require? This is enhanced by releasing the maltose sugar. Right? The brewing industry is mainly dependent on the sugars. So that's why the molasses or whatever the thing here, they require the maltose sugar. Hence, starch is not easily utilized. The starch need to be converted into the sucrose form. Hence, here the sucrose is fructose and glucose. But here glucose and glucose will give such to what? Maltose. That malt sugar is released easily. Hence, to enhance the malting process in the brewage industry, the gibberellic acid is utilized. Agar bioassay hege madidru, that is what? The barley seed which is removed its outer seed coat. And rest of the thing is what? We know that the monocot seeds where the aleurine layer, inside that what? The endosperm and mainly the we can say embryo, right? So that part is removed. Only this part is applied with the gibberellin. Then it made the germination easy and it made the release of starch, the storage food, because endosperm is containing what? The storage food. It made the availability of starch into the maltose form. Then the process of releasing the sugar is hastened. Hastened means what? Fastened, speed up. Hastening means speed up. So this hastening process or fastening process or speeding up of the malting, that is malt releasing the starch to maltose sugar, starch to sugar ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಎಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So that is how this was used in the brewing industries. Hope it is clear. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇಷ್ಟು? ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಮಾಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? shall I move to forward? Next ಎಲ್ಲ? Okay. So as we see in the breaking dormancy in the seeds and buds and increase in the length and axis of the length or axis length of the fruits and maintaining the shape in the apple and increasing the size, along with that malting process is fastened or hastened by making the application of this gibberellic acid in the barleys or brewing industries. They are also playing their major role in increasing the yield of sugar cane, because we know that gibberellin enhances shoot length in sugar cane by increasing its internodal space, because we know that ಬಯೋಸೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೋಡಲ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸಿನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಹ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ದ ಶೂಟ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್, and we know that the sugar cane, the stem is edible content, the stem is the storage of the raw material for sugar. Hence the raw material for sugar, that is what the stem of the sugar cane, where its length is increased, then more sugar is deposited. Hence per acre it increases the yield up to 20 tons. The yield of sugar cane is increased up to 20 tons per acre. That is how the sugar yield is also increased by the application of gibberellin. Clear? Likewise, it is also involved in bolting process. The same thing here. Bolting means what? It is useful in bolting. Bolting means what? Bolting is nothing but increasing the internodal space prior to flowering. Prior refers to what? Just before flowering, the internodal space is enhanced, especially in the where the plant leaf are edible, that is leaf vegetables. Leafy vegetables means we can see the arrangement of leaf in a rose like manner. The petals in a rose are arranged like a rosette. See, if it is an axis, we can see these are nodes. Right? That is what? Lettuce, cabbage, beetroots. Likewise, in the leafy vegetables, the internodes are enhanced just before the flowering, that is bolting process. This bolting is enhanced. This bolting is made easy by application of gibberellin. Then what happens? ಯಾಕೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲಿ? ಬೋಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಂಟರ್ನೋಡಲ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಏನಿದೆ? What I said bolting is increasing the internodal space. Then what you are seeing here, that means after application of this one, the internodal space will be like this, right? Then the leaf accumulation will be in the same rosette manner, but the thing is they will increase their thickness. If the leafy vegetables are edible, means if the leaf size is increased, how to increase the leaf size? Not to be get only expanding, that also to be get increase its thickness also. So if the internodal space is thickened, means enhanced, this thickness is also increased. As we axis is increased, same way here also the internodal space is increased, made a space available for enhancing their thickness. That is, example is beetroot and also lettuce, cabbage. Okay, there are some more functions of this gibberellic acids are there. We will discuss that in the next session. Okay, by summarizing this all, we will come to the conclusion and rest of the things will be discussed later. Clear? Thank you.